welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again is Jason Juggling J. Ford.
I'm back.
Aren't you going again? Well, we have a lot to talk about. Obviously, the biggest news in Bermuda as far as sports is, unfortunately, the under-17 women's World Cup qualifiers had to be shelved for now. There's an evacuation order in Nicaragua. Our girls are to be flying in tonight, Tuesday night here.
In transit.
We're going to go to the airport, meet them, and just make sure everybody's okay with that. But, scary scenes, they were front and center. They weren't near, but they can hear. If anybody could understand that. You didn't see it, but you could hear it. So, for some of these young girls, it's an experience, another experience of real life outside of Bermuda.
Well, interesting enough, we have more stories and some comments along with this right after these messages.
Sure.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home.
I can't wait to be able to talk to some of them just to see how they were feeling once they found out, because they didn't know that the tournament was canceled until they went into their meeting in preparation for USA, which they would have played on Sunday. And that's when it was broken to them that tournament's off. Getting out. Actually, they were staying in one of the safer hotels, them and the USA, them and Costa Rica. In the end, Canada and USA moved to the hotel that they were in.
Well, Earl, I'm one to say I don't like people saying, I know how you felt.
Right. I can't know.
Because some things you just don't know, you gotta go in their shoes. But unfortunately, this is not the first time Bermuda has faced something like this.
No, not at all.
And even for a young team. I can go back quite a couple of years ago, but I want to say 85, 86. The under-19 youth team, cricket team went to Ireland.
Yeah, Belfast.
During the time.
Yeah. Bombings was a regular thing. It was an everyday occurrence.
IRA with the Protestants versus the Catholics. And we, as a team, I don't think anybody knew prior. Because I don't ever think about, we had a meeting to talk about the political unrest when we got there. Now, I was young. I was 15 at the time, I believe I was 15 at the time. That team was captained by Albert Steed, the likes of Mark Beaver Ray, Corey Hill, Irvin Burgess, Kyle Lightbourne, the late Sean Woolridge, Jermaine Postlewhite. I mean, the list goes on. Patches Deal. But I believe one night a few guys went to movies. That was the first time I was frisked. Get into a movie by an armed I wasn't an officer, but guy
security.
from the army. No, we're security. It was Army.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in no security.
Reeboks good.
Right, and not, but we got frisked going in the movie theater. Also, coming out, walking along the streets, you've got jeeps with, soldiers pointing guns at you, helicopters flying by. Meanwhile, there's a tournament going on. So I know for us, we had spoke with some of the guys from Canada. Some of the guys we talked about it, and we've done so many. To be honest with you, it helped a lot of the team bonding because like you couldn't go nowhere by yourself.
Right.
That's unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
You went in packs, or you went in packs of 3s and 4s and 5s to make sure everybody was safe. And we did the whole tournament, but to go to a hostile place, I remember even with I believe it was a youth squad, football squad going down. I want to say Haiti at the time. Their unrest,
Right.
and I believe Streaker Adams was in goal. Now those guys were getting stuff thrown at them.
Yeah. Batteries and coins.
Coins and stuff. So going to somewhere, especially in our region, and especially with a hostile environment, like I said, now like to say I know how they felt, but to know that number one, you're away from home. Some of these girls, it could be probably the first time away too. You never, sometimes some people have had the luxury to go away many times. Sometimes this may be their first time, or even the first time away from home without their parents.
Right. Well, believe it or not, this particular team has been together for a while, and they've been to Haiti, and they went to Haiti after the earthquake. So they saw devastation, and it's just for them, I guess it's just another chapter of this storybook because...
But I tell you, Earl, I'll be honest with you, first person to sit a group of these girls together now, because the stories and how they used each other. I mean, I hate to say it, but for a coach, that team bonding you can't buy.
No, not at all.
Us even as Bermudians, when we're hearing things happen here on the island, we come together. No matter where you're from, we come together. But it's just you there. So first and foremost, obviously the safety is paramount, and I'm glad the organizers shelved it for now. Right.
Well, when the story broke on Sunday, got in contact with the president, Mark Wade, who said that the Bermuda Football Association was drafting up a press release. I got a chance to have an interview with him, early stages of what was developing in Nicaragua. Let's get that interview with Mark Wade, the president of Bermuda Football Association. Well, the preparations for the World Cricket League Division 4 are well underway. Bermuda played their first match on Sunday. A welcome return for Stephen Otterbridge, who had taken a hiatus from the national program, but coming back, his confidence would have gone through the roof. The fact that he would score 83 runs, Gennaro Tucker scoring 70. Still a little concerned with Stubble. I think he just needs that one good knock to get him over the hump. It's playing on his head, obviously.
I think it's probably more mental than
anything.
Obviously with the talent, there's no question. And sometimes it's just
you get in a rock. And I see him, the type of person he is, persevering. And I can see him battling his way out of the slump he's in and coming good. Hopefully he comes good in Malaysia.
But you also see why Stephen Otterbridge is important for this team.
I don't know if you noticed in the bowling lineup, Kamal bowled only 5.2 overs. Felt a little tightness. Decided, you know what? Let's put this down.
It's still some time. It's still some time. And once again, like I said, this time right now is just getting used to the conditions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And like you said, even with Kamal, and I'm just going back to cup match, him cramping. When you go County, I'm sorry, right. County. Yeah, what a county that was. But come on, Flats. But anyway,
they needed one more.
I tell you,
they needed one more component.
Come on, Flats. Anyway, no, but just when you go into that continent, the humidity is gonna play a big part, and how much water you're losing, the salt you're losing through sweat and stuff.
Right.
So for Kamal, some athletes, LeBron had that. Remember LeBron James had that early part of his career. Had a bit of troubles with cramping and stuff like that.
The pace of the game at the professional level, he was fit, but not where because his mind wanted to go better, bigger, stronger.
But found the right trainer and found the right solution to not to overexert or whatever. So maybe I'm not hoping this is not something that's ongoing for him. Hopefully it's just maybe just a little bit of cramping.
Right.
Nothing, no injuries or
Right.
strains or whatever. Because he definitely needed also.
Yeah.
Not only in bowling.
Yeah.
And batting also.
Leading the charge from the front. Let's flip it to local. We had some big games on Sunday. Eastern County rival that didn't materialize.
Which means didn't materialize.
It petered out to a
Hold on.
Bailey's Bay 7-wicket victory.
Well, you do remember a few years ago, there was a game, I want to say it was 88 runs.
Yeah.
So don't act like this is.
Oh, I know it's nothing new. I know it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Surprising, because you want to get off to a good start.
Why are you surprised?
Because you want to get off to a good start. And why I say I'm surprised? Okay, both those teams want to make early claims to their festival at midsummer, right? You never want to lose to that particular opponent. That's what I'm surprised at. How easy it was done.
I threw all that out the wash.
Never.
And I tell you why. We do this with football also. Beginning of the season, especially in cricket, unlike football, there's a lot more variables when we talk about wickets. Wickets are really not conducive to good playing cricket at the time. Teams missing players right now.
Who's missing on the news?
CJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they better first.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
CJ, the likes of the Unstoppable not there.
Yeah.
You know, and a few other players. But it's also, like I said, the first game. It's you're gonna see the inconsistency in the first few weeks, not only in the wickets but also in the batting.
Right.
With that matchup, we saw a big turnout flat last year in the beginning of the season.
Right.
Not just one game.
Oh yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah.
But then if they would have just had half, they probably would have been, gave St. Davis a run for it.
Yeah.
Where last year, St. Davis came out blazing.
So St. Davis was the PHC of football.
Exactly.
Of cricket.
So it doesn't. Yeah. That's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Did it happen? Of course, yeah, it happens. But it was been a surprise for me if both teams would have ended up scoring 300 runs plus.
Right.
That would have been a surprise. I'm like, well, where did this come from?
Well, I mean, that was a surprise at Southampton for St. George's to score that many runs.
So, and I'm going to go back. So, let's go to that game. So, up at Southampton with St. George's, I wasn't even surprised with that because the person who made the runs. Person who made the runs for St. George's, career best, Tamika Wilson.
Right.
But guess what?
He's been scored all winter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, he should be seeing basketballs come at him.
Yeah.
I will say I will be somewhat surprised with Dalen Richardson. But once again, he's been training all winter.
Right.
I didn't think he would come that good with the bat, scoring a century.
He was playing the team he left.
Now,
statement time.
Mind you, he left a few years ago. That's when he started. I mean, he's at Stars last year.
Right.
Yeah, he's at Rangers. But in saying that, even if
but that's what they played.
Daily? I'm sorry. I'm getting the two games together.
Right.
But yeah, most definitely. But yeah, with the team he left.
Right.
So you can see that. But once again, he's been training all. So the good thing out of this weekend, and we could talk about the games itself, but the good thing out of this weekend, the guys who were in standby, which was Tamika.
Yeah.
Dalen obviously didn't get through. But
they all had a good showing.
They had a great, not a good show, not a great show for career best. So even though sometimes you're playing against a lower opposition at the time,
you gotta play each ball.
You still gotta play each ball, and you still gotta, it's all nice to say that's. I don't care what anybody says. 100 runs is 100 runs.
Oh yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. it doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
A dock is a dock.
A dock, and it takes one ball.
That's right.
To get a dock. So
that's right.
It doesn't. And for these guys to get 100, and then let's look at Ricardo Brangman. I'm anxious to see what happens when half of the squad from the national squad come back with the likes of Deion Stubb and Gennaro Tucker. I'm just thinking.
I looked around that Rangers team yesterday, and I see guys putting their hands up, saying, "Yeah, that's all right. I'll go sit up to the side."
But Earl, I'm just thinking about the first 5 batsmen. What that's gonna look like.
Every time you point to the pavilion, somebody else is coming out. You're gonna say,
what that's gonna look like. The first 5 guys come. If you're opening up with Malachi and Derek, who both of them like to go at you,
Shannon.
And then you got Shannon.
Yeah,
and then you got Nero and Dion come right behind them. And then you got somebody who's stable like Rohan, who could just hold up his end.
Yeah, well,
that's gonna be scary to
but
watch.
you know what the thing is, and one thing's a proven fact. On any given Sunday, any team could be beaten because this is Bermuda.
Well, and that's that. And to be honest with you, I was actually encouraged this weekend because, especially with that particular game, when I found out the score from St. George's, I was saying, "Whoa, wait, I don't know the team that got up there, who's left?"
Right.
But you can't sometimes. I can't say sometimes, but experience.
Yeah.
Some of those players are just wealth of experience. They've been through it. They've been through it. The likes of Vernon Eve, we can have all these jokes, if you want to say. But for between him and I remember Ryan Balboa saying for many years, "I'm the best number 11 batsman."
Most consistent.
Yeah.
Hey, block his wicket.
Nah, you remember Vernon used to be opener.
Yeah.
Some of us thought that he lost his batting gloves and his batting shoes and his batting pads and his bat. But once again, if you just support somebody,
but his one of those. I'm a team player, so I will go wherever you put me.
Wherever you put me.
It was a funny story. One evening, happened to be in the presence of Vernon, Coach Brangman, Gennaro, and somebody else, and they were actually teasing him. And he says, "You know what, Coach?
Yeah.
Wherever you tell me go, I'll go. Whatever you tell me do, I'll do. I'm a team player."
And Earl, we never really say this about Vernon, We might tell you this about some other players. But Vernon's
very. You forgot the very.
Vernon is knocking on 50.
50. Left arm, Ronnie Wickets.
That's extra slow.
Got those drifters.
It's coming to me sometime. And I guarantee, and he's, he's right in top. He's always in the top 10 wicket takers. So it's going to be interesting, encouraging. Speaking with Jeff Richardson a couple of weeks ago, he's very encouraged with some of the youngsters he's got up there. And we saw them come good already.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of teams were skeptical, I would say, with this open cricket format. But I think already it's paid dividends to what the whole purpose of it was.
I also got time to spend at the wicket.
Spend some time at the
wicket. Are building 14 and 15.
Let me tell you what I was shocked at, and I didn't see this coming. I want to take note of the teams that played, but we know 2 teams that didn't. Right off the bat. If they was to bet
the 65?
Past 50? Just past 50. Because last year we couldn't get too many teams past 50.
Right.
Bet up the innings.
Right.
To get the bonus points. And this sets up for the 50 over league.
Yeah. Because if you learn how to bet past 50, you could bet 250. Your strategist is saying here, bet the 50 over solid. Yeah, points. Yeah, so. Well, Jay, last week, Thursday, we didn't have a show because of everything that was going on. Starting with the National Junior Sponsorship Award that was handed out, $50,000 to 14 different sports, 14 athletes. Let's get the National Junior Sponsorship Award presentation.
To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Golf Association has been granted a sum of $2,765 to Kenneth Lejour to compete in the Legends Junior Classic and the Shell Landing Junior Classic held in Alabama. To assist our recipient with his development, the Bermuda Basketball Association has been granted the sum of $3,947 to Seth Hardman to attend the World Hoop Summit at the Vanguard Elite Sports Training Program held in Philadelphia. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Cricket Board Association of Bermuda Cricket Board has been granted a sum of $2,500 for Jabari Darrow to continue education at the Digicel School in the United Kingdom. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Rowing Association has been granted a sum of $5,050 for Yannick Halir to compete at the 2018 World Junior Rowing Championships held in the Czech Republic. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Netball Association has been granted a sum of $3,416 for Bermuda Nasir to train with the WASP netball team and receive one of our trainings at an elite level.
To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Association of Motorsports has been granted a sum of $6,786 for Kiran Rana to train at BYE. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Sailing Association has been granted a sum of $3,383 for Azai Smith to attend an overseas camp in May and the IOTA North American Championships in Mexico. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Equestrian Federation has been granted a sum of $3,315 for Kaiwan Waldron to begin an internship at the Silver Shoe Farm. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Bicycle Association has been granted a sum of $2,426 for Caden Hopkins to receive testing and evaluations by Robbie Ventura of Vision Quest Coaching and to compete in 2 races on the Tour of America's Dairyland Race Series.
To assist our recipient, the Bermuda National Association of Athletics has been granted a sum of $2,703 for Ashley Irby to attend the Nike Clark Family Running Camp in Tarrytown, New York, and the High School Invitational Indoor Track Meet in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Triathlon Association has been granted a sum of $2,192 for Caleb Ingham to buy a bike that will be used at his overseas races later this year. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Hockey Federation has been granted a sum of $3,795 for Isabella Boonstra to attend the top hockey camp in Amsterdam, Netherlands. To assist our recipient, the Bermuda Football Association has been granted a sum of $4,100 for Anaja Astwood to attend Reading Football Academy football camp in Reading.
So there you have it. 14 different sports splitting up $50,000.
Thank you. I mean, that's we've been calling for it, and it's not like this. It's the first time either.
Yeah, this is a yearly thing.
It's a yearly thing, but I'd love to see more because I talked about it the last couple of shows. The commitment we've seen other islands, other places to make that commitment through sports to produce some good citizens.
Well, in his closing remarks, the Director of Youth and Sport, Norbert Simons, in the presence of the minister, said he'd be lobbying for more because there's always more they can try to do. And it's really important to help youngsters in development. And what happens is sporting bodies pick those with the best potential and need that push over the edge.
And that's I'm pretty sure the criteria every one of the sports whoever's going to be the recipient, that's what it's going to help them do, get them over the edge or get them to that next training or get them to that next whatever is needed for to produce, but not just produce on the field, but also be a better person off the field.
Well, later on that night, Oakville Blue Devils out of Canada played their first match against a Bermuda National Select team.
Yeah.
Bermuda came out on top 3-1. Then on Sunday, Oakville played a Bermuda Select. Oakville won that 2-1. But
Got lucky.
Thursday night, those two words there, got lucky. Even Coach Kyle Lipon said, Bermuda rode their luck. Oakville were quite a few steps better than Bermuda. Our first touches were lacking. We kept giving the ball away, spending a lot of time defending. But in the end, they say goals win games. So it was a feel good for the Bermuda team to go off the field. Now they know what Barbados was feeling like when it happened to them, because they don't know what Oakville were feeling like walking off that field.
Well, I tell you, Earl, one thing that stood out when you were just talking about it just now, Oakville's a team that's been playing together for a while.
Yeah, well, as the coach said, a lot of these guys are new.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I'm thinking about with the Bermuda squad, it's just a lot of.
Oh, that was kind of just put together. Yeah.
So, like I said, you know, we talk about, especially in football, even in football is how do I like the ball to me? I might want to run the channel. You might say feet.
Right. But just you saying that, right? Interesting scenario on Sunday. There was quite a few mix-ups between the defenders and the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But guess what? 3 of the defenders were from PHC as well as the goalkeeper.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Sometimes it happens.
Could not believe it.
Nerves.
Communication.
Nerves too.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's nerves too.
this.
Nerves too.
Oh man.
Nerves too. So and like a lot of these guys, they're getting their feet wet.
Right.
They haven't really been in the sport that long.
Right. Yeah.
So the good thing gives Coach Lipon an opportunity to, once again, take a look at guys. One thing, his mandate, not when he at this stint of coaching, but also the first stint of coaches, says, hey, if you put in the work,
You get rewarded.
you're gonna get the opportunity. Andrew Bascom came right behind him and done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And now with Kyle taking back over from Andrew Bascom, they've kept it on. So it doesn't matter what league you're playing in, what team you're playing for. If you put in the work, if you show the commitment, if you come to training, well, we're going to take a look at you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're not going to be afraid to put you out there, because who knows, you might just be one of those guys who just game day guys. Sometimes there are players that you can do all the training, and it just seems like nothing will motivate them through a training session.
Right.
But you get them on the field, and you can see that on a whole different class. Sometimes, it irritates a coach to the fullest, because it's like, only if you would just do this,
Right.
you be this much. But some people just react differently. So you get to know these ins and outs. We talked about, even with years ago with West Indies cricket. With curfews, the likes of Sir Gary Silvers. Never, ever
Met curfew.
met curfew.
Yeah. But he met back with Bull.
But he was one of the greatest all-rounders ever. Not just bat and ball and fielding. So, some guys are just
Naturally like that.
Now, do you want your whole team like that? No.
If they all produce, sure.
Chances that happening.
Yeah. But after the Thursday night game, got a chance to speak with Coach Kyle Lipon and the Oakville coach, Duncan Wild, after the game on Thursday. All right, Kyle, obviously you got a good result, but recap the game for us. How do you think overall Bermuda played?
Overall, when I look at the game, I thought Oakville started well in the first half, and we managed to be able to settle down after about, I say 20 minutes into the game. We put one or two moves together. We were both playing. I would say they had most of the ball first half, like early part of the first half, and I think second part of the first half we had a little bit more of the ball. We managed to go in front But they were a very physical team. They were, now I won't say they were direct, but we managed to keep the ball in front of our goal quite well. I was disappointed with the goal that we gave away. I just thought we were sitting too deep from the corner instead of being in the positions, like we were like 3 yards deeper, so it didn't allow the keeper to come and punch that ball. So we spoke about that at halftime. With a few young players in there, I think some of them done quite well. The younger players really put on a good show for the guys with fight and determination, and some of them haven't even played, I would say, in the Premier Division. With the boy Bean, I think he played for Hamilton Parish in the Premier Division, and Aaron's played for Crossroads. But they're away in school, they're learning their trade, and I think we just rode our luck a little bit. In the second half, they came out, and I thought they were bossing the game until we made a couple of minor adjustments with our shape. And Keyshawn Bean, he came on, and he put his foot on the ball a little bit more. We were able to build a bit better, and I put a little bit more physical presence up top, and I think that made the difference in the end. We felt that we could get that 1-2 pass and get in, and in the end it happened. And I was pleased that we were able to do that, because teams have done that to us in the past. When I think of Barbados, and I think of Cosmos, where they score in the last minute. So I'm pleased with that. Obviously, it's a long way to go for us. This is the start of something that it's a long process that we're looking at, and hopefully we could keep building. And it's also nice to see the young boy Seeley come on and score. So at the end, that's pleasing. So for all the coaches in Bermuda that's had something to do with some of these players, you have to take part of the credit.
Obviously, not the result you was looking for, but you got the match in.
Yeah.
Evaluate the performance for us.
We knew they had lots of pace in the first few minutes, and that's all we were really concerned with. And from our perspective, we thought we gave 2 really bad goals away. 2 defensive errors that is not like us normally, but that's why we're doing this at this time of the year. We made a lot of changes that, again, we wouldn't normally do. But all credit to Bermuda. They pushed, and they're not afraid to take us on and get the ball in behind. They did very well, and at the end of the night, they deserve their win, and congratulations to them.
What do you tell the boys to get up for Sunday's match?
Just defensively to stay in the game better. I think we're getting better and better. This is our 3rd game now pre-season, but concentration levels and simple individual errors, we have to eliminate that. I thought collectively as a team we played very well. I thought we created numerous chances to score. It didn't go in for us, it did for them, and that's football. So we dust off, we come back on Sunday and we go at it again.
All right, well done. All the best on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, go.
Thanks.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber-to-the-home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber-to-the-home network.
Jay, yesterday at a press conference at the Bermuda Tourism Authority, the opening ceremony for the upcoming Triathlon World Series event that will be held in Bermuda this coming weekend was announced, with flag bearers and the like, and just trying to rally up. Let's get the press conference from the BTA office yesterday.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Very happy to be giving you an update, specifically on our opening ceremony for Bermuda's first World Triathlon Series event. Without further ado, I'll introduce the Honourable Jamal Simmons, Minister of Economic Development and Tourism, who will open the remarks. Minister?
Good afternoon, everyone. As we are near the start of the MS Amblin World Triathlon Bermuda, we are playing host this prestigious ITU event, the second of 8 stops on the World Triathlon Series before the finals in September 2018. This world-class event will once again place Bermuda in the international sports arena. This week, Bermuda will welcome hundreds of visitors and the world's best triathletes. We are extremely proud to have Bermuda's own world champion, Flora Duffy, leading this challenging race. I was quite pleased to learn that the junior athletes will have the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of Bermuda's own Athlete of the Year. It cannot be understated, the fact that our students will have amazing opportunity to compete on the world stage and be inspired by watching Flora Duffy compete in her own country. Bermuda's junior triathlon program has developed significantly over the past 25 years and is to be applauded for helping start the careers of Flora Duffy, Tyler Butterfield, Tyler Smith, and many, many more. Their work has been successful in developing junior triathletes to compete at an international level. The opportunity for our young athletes to compete using part of the same race course that the international triathletes will race on is exciting. We hope residents will crowd the route and cheer on the TMR duathlon on Friday evening. To the young people of Bermuda, we celebrate your participating in the opening ceremony and in the duathlon. It is a privilege to be able to represent your country and to do so with the support of everyone in Bermuda. It will boost your confidence and inspire you to continue training and competing. On behalf of the Ministry of Economic Development and Tourism and the Government of Bermuda, we are very proud of you and wish you the very best as you take center stage and represent Bermuda. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. We also have with us this afternoon Steve Petty, who is the chairman of the Bermuda Triathlon Federation, and also Phil Smith, who is leading up the organizing committee and World Triathlon Series Bermuda for us here. I think Steve is going to talk next. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As the minister did just say, we're focusing a lot on this event on the youth. And through Tokyo Millennium over the past 6 weeks, we've been having junior clinics. These are free. And in collaboration with the National Sports Center, we've been having these clinics on Sunday afternoons, one to expose kids to that facility. I'm reminded today, I was up there at lunchtime, there are world-class athletes up there training right now, and they say that this is a jewel in the rough here. It's a fantastic facility. And so we've had these kids up there. We're running a course of training triathlons for them in anticipation of this event on Friday night, where we have over 200 kids registered. It's all free. And we'll continue that throughout the summer, leading up to the second inaugural Carifta Games, which will be in Trinidad and Tobago at the end of September. But through events like this, I think Flora Duffy was 10 years old when we had a World Cup here in 1997. She saw it and she said, I want to participate. I'm reminded that 12 years ago, in 2006 in Lausanne, she was second in the Junior Elite Worlds, which at that time was really something big. But what we're going to see on Saturday, I think, will remind us that we really do have a champion here. And she came from this youth development program. So, yep.
Thank you very much. And now Phil is going to say a few words.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming here, and for those people who have tuned in from further afield, thank you very much for watching. The idea when I started out with the idea of bringing this event to Bermuda, it's always been to really grow the sport of triathlon in Bermuda, and it makes a lot of sense to start with kids. The youth is really where you create a funnel and create opportunity for people to become confident human beings, and sport is a fantastic tool to create that. Bermuda, as all of you are aware, has really gained a reputation as sort of the the Jamaica of triathlon. You know, it punches well above its weight. An island of this size shouldn't create a roster of that caliber. It just shouldn't be the case that we have Flora Duffy following in Tyler Butterfield's steps, and now Erica Hawley and Tyler Smith are there, and many more athletes are coming up, and you will see some of them already participate in the age group racing now. Actually, the rules have changed slightly to allow some of the 15-year-olds to participate in the racing now as well. So there'll be many opportunities to create that funnel and bring people onto the chain. Now, obviously what we're doing on the Saturday afternoon is elite racing. So that's top level, world level racing. And elite racing serves a really interesting purpose. It serves as inspiration to the youth. It really creates a goal, it creates an aspiration for people to want to achieve something great. And so when I started out, like, the goal really was, of course, create economic impact for the island. It has a huge driver, and we can talk about that at another time. But also really to create an opportunity for Bermuda to showcase itself and act as a role model, not just domestically, but also to the world, and show other nations how you can be, how successful you can be. And so we're doing this by broadcasting this race, as you know, into 160 countries around the world. And Steve just mentioned it. Athletes from around these countries around the world are here already in training. I swam with the Japanese team already a week ago. So teams are staying for over 2 weeks on the island to train and experience the island. So we have people from, obviously, the closest by countries, from the US, from Canada, from the UK, here. Those are sort of the typical sort of feeder markets from a tourism perspective. But we also have people from Japan, as I mentioned, or Australia, so from really far away. And that is something that I think is a fantastic opportunity for Bermuda to really broadcast itself and its beauty and all the opportunities far around the world. So you can see all these countries represented on the Saturday start line. So if you come to the elite racing, come and watch the world's best from each of these nations. But then on the Friday, you will see some of their friends and family, in addition to hopefully many locals come out and see them race in the feather mile or before in the kids race that we just touched on. But it'll all start really on the Thursday night. That's at 7 p.m. at the flagpole, when we have the kickoff, free party on Front Street. Pasta party will be there, so to carbo load for any athletes, and then we'll really kick off with Flora coming on stage fresh off her win from the Gold Coast just before 8 o'clock, when the clock strikes 0 at the countdown. Thank you.
So just a little bit more about the opening ceremony itself. The ceremony will feature young people from across the island and salute Bermuda's youth athletes and sports stars. It's only fitting that that happens because the TML Kids Duathlon, which will take place on Friday night, has attracted close to 200 children. They've registered to race, and many of them are new to the sport. They have all been invited to be part of a ceremony in a short parade to the flagpole. The Royal Bermuda Regiment Band will follow the children, as well as 33 young flag bearers from Bermuda, representing every country competing in Saturday's World Triathlon. The lead flag bearers will be young Bermudian athletes, swimmer Jessie Washington and high jumper Sakari Famous. Sakari, our Berkeley student, is a 6-time Carifta Games medalist, 2 silver and 4 bronze. She took a place on the podium at last year's Youth Commonwealth Games and has qualified to compete in the Central American and Caribbean Games. Jesse, a Warwick Academy student, has won multiple medals at Carifta. He competed in the Youth Commonwealth Games and continues to place at top-ranking international swim meets. It's really great to see the positive response to the TMR Kids Duathlon. We're proud that so many young Bermuda athletes will compete on part of the course and will run through the same finish area as the world champions will use on Saturday. These opportunities can inspire them in their own success. We wish them all a great race. And it's not too late to register. Any parents or children still interested can register on www.tribermuda.com. Thank you very much. Questions?
Okay.
Yes.
Traffic closures and so on.
Yes, there is an announcement coming out about that tomorrow. Yes.
In Wednesday's paper.
And in Wednesday's paper. So there are details. But I should tell you that Hamilton is open for business, and at the very least, Bull's Head, King Street and Elliott Street car parks are open throughout the entire weekend. Yes.
Do you know how many people are coming from overseas for the races?
We won't know until after it's done, frankly. We know we have 600 athletes competing.
Plus elites. So the elites
Yes,
also.
plus elites, yes.
So about 700 in total.
Yeah.
So just for our viewers, even now, where's some of the best vantage points for Bermuda to see this world-class race?
Well, I would say from my point of view, I think Corkscrew Hill would be interesting, because Corkscrew Hill is going to be a challenging part of the course, because for the bike race, the athletes will be biking up Corkscrew Hill. And so I think that would be a really interesting, yes, I think that would be a very interesting place to watch.
And 10 times.
And 10 times. They'll be going around on 10 times on the loop. So yeah, that's a good one.
The swim will be 2 loops, but this is for the elite. The bike will be 10 and the run will be 4. So another vantage point would be the top of
Burnaby Hill. Yes. Oh, sorry. You come. Burnaby Hill is another one.
And then of course Front Street, many vantage points there.
One more question.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. I just would like to clarify. Like Corkscrew Hill, as exciting as it is, it has also space limitations,
Yes.
right? The roads are very
Yes.
narrow. So the best point to view it is Birdcage Front Street. That's really where the majority of the action
Yeah.
is. That's where the grandstands are. You can view free grandstand viewing right where that swim exit is, and the transition and all the action will happen.
Yes.
How far will each group be racing? The different
So-
bikes?
Yeah, so the age groupers have the choice of doing a sprint or an Olympic distance. Sprint distance is 750 meters swim, 20-kilometer bike, and 5-kilometer run. And the Olympic distance is a double distance of that, so 1.5 kilometer swim, 40-kilometer bike, and 10-kilometer run. And that's exactly what the elites will do in the afternoon as well.
One feature that we haven't really talked about is the team event. There's a lot of good corporate for bragging rights. There are a lot of teams entered, so just individuals who will swim, another individual will cycle, and another will run. So I think there's over 100 teams entered as well.
And we shouldn't forget the kids race. This is about the kids. So the kids will race on the Friday evening. They will do a duathlon, which is a run, bike, run. And there'll be 2 different distances based on the age of the kids. It's about a 400-meter run and a 2K bike and a 400-meter run, or double that distance.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, we're looking forward to the event, opening ceremony Thursday at Front Street, along Front Street. They have Harbor Nights for the first time. It'll be on a Thursday. It's just to go to the opening ceremony, and then we'll resume back on Wednesdays. But looking forward to Saturday night.
Definitely looking forward to Saturday night, but just want to remind everybody, please go to the website, look at all the traffic advisories, because there is going to be there is a lot of changes that's going to be happening in the city of town, getting into town, getting out of town, getting around town. So please,
Pack your
please,
patience.
pack your patience. Definitely pack, and definitely leave early to go to town if you want to catch the first race.
The first race is at 7.
Yep, still got to go early.
Yeah.
Got to get parking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have anything to leave us
Yes, I definitely want to leave you with something today. Over the weekend, watching a little bit of cricket news come across, and you actually covered it on your site. So my boy has on point.
100 balls, man.
100 balls.
100 balls.
100 balls. ECB is, well, it looks like
They've already agreed to it.
Agreed to it. It's just a matter of just implementing it. But having a 100-ball format. Now, what there would actually be would be 15 overs, the traditional 6-ball over, but the last over, it will be a 10-ball over. Now, one will question, why would you do this when there is a 2020? Why even make the game even shorter, as we've heard that some of these shorter versions is not helping the game, especially for a team like England, who's very more traditionalist.
Do you know why?
Well, of course I know why, and I keep telling you all the time when it comes to sports, it all comes back down to money.
Yeah.
And they are having trouble, even though it's different when your national teams are on top. Money's flowing in. But when your national teams fall off.
Okay, I'll tell you why they done it. Why it was voted on. If your sport is considered an Olympic sport, you get IOC money.
Yep.
Right? The only way to get cricket into an Olympic sport is to make it commercialized viable. So what they're looking to do is make sure cricket gets into the Commonwealth Games, which England is hosting in 2022. Make sure that it works. Then you approach the IOC and say, we want this in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Guaranteed. They've already been to the U.S. And they've lobbied the U.S. to say that's got to be one of the sports. So I'm thinking in 2028 you'll see baseball and you'll see cricket.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Because, like I just said, some people may have questioned why just leave it at 2020. But when it comes to commercializing, there's also a range of time. Just like in baseball, they're trying to shorten the game because it's been too long going to.
Well, we're looking forward to the event, opening ceremony Thursday at Front Street, along Front Street. They have Harbor Nights for the first time. Will be on a Thursday. It's just to go with the opening ceremony, and then we'll resume back on Wednesdays. But looking forward to Saturday night.
Definitely looking forward to Saturday night, but just want to remind everybody, please, please, please go to the website, look at all the traffic advisories, because there is a lot of changes that's going to be happening in the city of town, getting into town, getting out of town, getting around town. So please, pack your patience, definitely pack, and definitely leave early to go to town if you want to catch the first race.
The first race is at 7.
Yep, still got to go early.
Yeah.
Got to get parking.
Yeah. Well, you have anything to leave us?
Yes, I definitely want to leave you with something today. Over the weekend, watching a little bit of cricket news come across, and you actually covered it on your site. So my boy has on point.
100 balls, man.
100 balls.
100 balls.
100 balls. ECB is, well, it looks like they've
already agreed to it.
Agreed to it. It's just a matter of just implementing it. But having a 100-ball format. Now, what there would actually be would be 15 overs, the traditional 6-ball over, but the last over, it will be a 10-ball over. Now, one will question, why would you do this when there is a 2020? Why even make the game even shorter, as we've heard that some of these shorter versions is not helping the game, especially for a team like England, who's very more traditionalist.
Do you know why?
Well, of course I know why, and I keep telling you all the time when it comes to sports, it all comes back down to money.
Yeah.
And they are having trouble, even though it's different when your national teams are on top.
Mm-hmm.
Money's flowing in. But when your national teams fall off.
Okay, I'll tell you why they done it. Why it was voted on. If your sport is considered an Olympic sport,
Mm-hmm.
you get IOC money.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way to get cricket into an Olympic sport
Mm-hmm.
is to make it commercialized viable.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're looking to do is make sure cricket gets into the Commonwealth Games, which England is hosting in 2022. Make sure that it works. Then you approach the IOC and say, we want this in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Guaranteed. They've already been to the U.S. and they've lobbied the U.S. to say that's got to be one of the sports. So I'm thinking in 2028 you'll see baseball and you'll see cricket.
I'm with you. Because, like I just said, some people may have questioned why just leave it at 2020. But when it comes to commercializing, there's also a range of time. Just like in baseball, they're trying to shorten the game because it's been too long, going too long. So even 2020 games now are going past the 4-hour mark, that was not the case.
It was supposed to only last 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Exactly.
That's including the change around.
So there might be thinking about now to making some changes regarding that, and we're hoping to hear probably something after this IPL.
Right.
Because I think they're really using this IPL as where they can actually save some time.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they have the strategic timeouts, it's a couple of minutes, but still, there's some other ways that think they could save some time.
Right.
Where actually this particular, even if you just look at it from, normally they say anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes and over. Right, so you're talking about 50, so you're
shorter run up, all that.
You're talking about saving at least 30 minutes.
Yeah. That game, the 15 overs, if you look at it, they say 12 overs are built in an hour, supposedly.
Yeah.
Right? 12 to 13.
Yeah.
That gives you an extra 3 overs if you build 12. So that's an extra 15 minutes. You turn around 10 minutes, you're finishing 2 hours and you should be finishing 3 hours and 5 minutes.
3 hours, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And give or take 320.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at a basketball game, if you look at an NFL game, you know, so you're looking at that time, that time frame where they can, number one, make it viable commercially,
yeah,
but also keep everybody's attention.
Right.
And then the last thing, which they'll probably tell you the first thing, but the last thing is to get younger
people involved.
Yeah. They're gonna tell you that's the first thing because our numbers are dropping, this, that, the other. But you know, that's really the last thing on the topic.
Definitely. Well, folks, we're going to leave it there. Enjoy your night from the Digicel Sports Show.